What's going on, YouTube? My name's Colin. I'm back again here after 3 months of inactivity. I apologize for being inactive for a little while. Had some stuff going on in my life. I've got a lot of updates for you guys, and I'd like to explain more about my keto journey as in my previous video and the progress I've made. I've had great progress so far, but that'll come in the next video. This video today, however, is about racism. I actually was just in a really uncomfortable situation just now where some dude basically made me feel very awful about my skin color, quite frankly. And it was a little bit uncomfortable. Towards the beginning it was uncomfortable, and towards the end it got unbearable, and I had to actually walk away, and I politely just walked away, and I was walking my dog and all that. So I just like to discuss a little bit about what happened. It's kind of like a debrief for me to do this video because it's not every day that you encounter something like that. I live here in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and this kind of shit does not happen at all to me, ever. The last time somebody was racist towards me was probably when I was 10 years old delivering papers on a paper route. That's literally the only time I've ever actually experienced that. This was very, very awkward. The man was not aggressive whatsoever. He was an elderly gentleman, and I'll give you the story in a second here. Anyway, let me break it down for you what happened. So I'm walking my dog. I take a route that I normally don't take. It's in the same neighborhood as mine. Literally the street behind there. This is my backyard. I'm literally walking on the street behind my house. I don't often walk there. But this time I thought, you know what? I had a cramp in my leg, so I had to cut short my walk with my dog. So I take this route, and as I'm walking down this road, I notice a bit of an odd scenario. Some older white gentleman, he's kind of doing something with his car. He's fixing something in the back of his car, and he looks over at me, kind of just stops and looks at me at the end of his driveway. And I'm like, okay, like whatever. He's probably an old senile dude, whatever. It's not a big deal. And I just carry on with my walk. As I get closer, this guy asked me about my dog. Oh, what kind of... oh, there's my dog, by the way. There's Stanley. He just came back from a walk. He's pooped. So I'm walking that cute little guy over there, right there. And this guy stops me and he's like, oh, what kind of dog is that? So I said, oh, no problem. Like, I started talking to him. I said, oh, he's black lab mixed with white shepherd. And I was giving all the details about him. Then he's like, you don't look too familiar. And I said, okay. And he's like, I haven't actually seen you. He's like, do you live around here? So, you know, me obviously unsuspecting, I thought, okay, this guy's just asking me just for the sake of asking. Maybe he's trying to be friendly, whatever. So I just said, oh yeah, actually I live just around the corner, literally on the other side of you. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, that's interesting. He's like, do you live on the corner house over there? Now there's a family of Haitians that live literally on the corner there. And I'm assuming he was talking about them. And I said, no, actually I live a few houses down. And then he said, oh, okay. And then he had a little hard time understanding, so I kind of just described the house to him. And then he's like, oh, okay. And he's like, so how long you been living there? I'm like, I've been living there for 3 years, dude. Like, is everything all right? Like, I didn't ask him that, but in my mind I'm thinking, is everything all right? But again, I'm a nice guy, and I'm very unsuspecting of people. I give them a lot of chances, and I decided to give this guy a chance. So I said, oh, you know, because he's an older gentleman. He's probably in his 80s. So I'm like, okay, no problem. I just said, yeah, I've been living there for the past 3 years. And he's like, oh, like, you're pretty much a shadow to me because I haven't seen you before. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I'm there, so what are you going to do about it? So long story short, he keeps talking more and more about ethnical backgrounds and stuff. And he's like, oh, you know, the guys on the corner, they're from St. Lucia or Haiti or something like that. He's like, where are you from? And I said, well, I'm actually Canadian, but my background is Sri Lankan because my parents are from Sri Lanka. And then he's like, oh, Sri Lankan. And then he said, okay, well, my name is whatever the hell his name is. He tells me some name, like Hal or something. He shakes my hand. I go to shake his hand. I said, nice to meet you. I'm Colin. Then he said, oh, Colin. And it's like you could tell that, you know, there was some sort of shit going on in his brain where he was trying to understand what the hell I was, like, where that name comes from. And at that point, I started to get really uncomfortable because I'm like, okay, dude, like, you were a little bit weird at the beginning, asking me about my ethnical background and looking at me funny and, you know, asking me if I even live in this area. And at that point, I'm just like, okay, this is getting really weird. So I was trying to find a way out of it. And then he said, oh, okay, your name's Colin. Then he said, and is your girlfriend black too? First of all, I'm not black, ladies and gentlemen. I'm brown. And this guy asked me, is your girlfriend black too? And I said, actually, no, she's French Canadian. Why do you ask? Then he said, oh, French Canadian. And he's like, how did you manage that? And at that point, I was like, this dude just broke the straw on the camel's back. Like, that's it. I cannot be around this guy anymore. Whether he's an old, senile old man or not, I don't care. This is wrong. And I actually just found a nice, polite way out. And I said, oh, I'm not quite too sure how I landed that. Ha ha ha. And I literally just started walking away with my dog. And I didn't look back. And the whole time on the way back to my house, which is literally, again, half a block around the corner, I'm thinking to myself, what the hell just fucking happened, man? That's fucked up. This is my fucking neighborhood. I've been living here for 3 years. There's so many mixed colored people around here, man. Like, what the hell is, like, what is your problem, dude? In my mind, I'm thinking that. But then I'm thinking, you know, it was like stepping into a time warp. This guy is like living in the fucking 50s, man. And, you know, any reasonable person in my situation would have told this guy off and said, what the fuck is your problem? Or something along those lines. But I just kind of walked away, and it takes me a little time to process what, you know, when people are being irrational like that and very, very, you know, unprovoked. And like I said, I've never faced this in, you know, probably about 25 years of my life. So again, I just wanted to share this with you guys because that was a really tough situation for me. And immediately when I came home, I tried calling my parents. I called my brother, debriefed with them, because I'm like, that's a really hard thing to just sweep under the rug. That's some weird shit, man. And that kind of stuff is gonna happen. Like, I don't know, you know, my viewers too much because I'm still new on YouTube, but if that's happening to you guys, like, put a comment below if you've ever experienced something like that. That really moved me, and that really upset me. And I'm at a point now where, you know, I'm just too high on life right now to even care about that kind of shit that happens there. But like, I feel like I need to just share it with the world and explain that this shit actually goes on in Canada in 2019 in a fucking dense melting pot neighborhood, man. So, you know, I just want to, you know, kind of encourage people in situations like that by sharing this video to just be cool. You know, people are gonna be fucking weird, and people are gonna act irrational. And, you know, these people, they probably live under a fucking rock. And you kind of just have to just fucking, you know, obviously do your debrief and, you know, come home and bitch about it to somebody and just talk shit about that person just to make yourself feel a little bit better and salvage your emotions, because that was awful. And I hope nobody else has to go through that. But if you have gone through that recently, or if you have an experience like that, can you please share it below? Comment below, like this video to share this with a friend. This is messed up, guys, but I'm happy that I was able to share this with you. I'm happy that somebody else can kind of maybe learn from that experience. Again, I didn't do anything but maintain my kind attitude towards that gentleman, and I gave the benefit of the doubt right until that last second where he said something that was too much for me. And I just politely walked away. It's not worth engaging in conflict with people. It's better to just walk away and debrief. Debrief with somebody you care about. Debrief with somebody who's going to listen to you, your friend, your family, your loved one. It doesn't matter who it is. Just take a moment afterwards to calm down and collect your thoughts. But just know that by not reacting in that scenario and not being aggressive and not matching that negative attitude, you become a better person. Okay, guys? So again, this is Journey to Greatness. My name's Colin. I hope this benefited you guys. Comment below with an experience you've had, and I'm hoping to see you in the next video. Thank you. Stanley.